And welcome once again to AV Racing TV. It's that time again. It's race day. That means I've been drinking. This is AV F1 Championship. This is race 2 of season 4, and we're off to Austria today. And just finish pulling up info. There we go. Austria today then. I said race 2 season 4 AV Championship. We had a very wet race here the last time we came to Austria in season 3. I think we might have started on the dries, and then remember it went to inters, and I remember we had Kuhn showing phenomenal pace around here in the wet last time. I'm hoping for a dry race this time though. 2.5 minutes left right now until we load in to the race. 12 drivers in here right now. I'm expecting a lot more to join in at the final bits. We've got some new drivers and some reserves in here from what we've seen from season 3. We've got Boris, F1 and Grant. We had neither racing point here for our first race in Australia, so that'll be interesting to see today how these two fare against our current grid. Spacker Jacko in Renault. I'm told he is a friend of Grant, I believe. Once again, he's going to be filling in and reserving today in the Renault, I believe. Forza Ferrari 19 here, filling in for Zaki in the Williams. Here we saw Zaki in Australia. Zaki was in Australia. I'm hoping for a much better race than what we had in Australia. A little bit of a messy start there. 16 drivers in here right now. 1.5 minutes left to go before we load into qualifying. Grant's winning, says Aaron Little there. I see it in the message. We shall see, my friend. We shall see. I never count anybody out, but I have seen. We've got Reaper here. We've got Gargamelin in here. We've got Knack in here. There's 3 pretty good contenders there, I think, from what I've seen over the previous seasons. That should definitely be able to give anyone a good run that thinks they can jump in here. Just under a minute still, 16 drivers in. Who are we missing right now? We've got both Mercedes in here, both Racing Points are in here, both McLarens are in here. There's the other Haas of Bestos, both of them are in here. We've got both Alfa Romeos, both Red Bulls. One of the Renaults is missing, both Alfa Tauris is there. Who is that we're missing? One of the Williams is missing. One of the Renaults is missing. No, I'm deciding what else? One of the Ferraris. Renault, Ferrari, and the Williams currently missing. Williams and Renault both need to score points after the first race in Austria. Podium finishes last week we had from Reaper, Gargamelin, and FCST. As we load in right now to the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. 50% race for us, which means about 35 laps around here. 2.6 mile track, or 4.3 kilometers if you prefer metric. Only 10 corners around here. One of the short tracks on the season, but there is 3 DRS zones. As I said previously, we had last season a very wet race here in season 2. I'm much more hoping for a nice dry Austria. It's a good, short, fast track around here. Those 3 DRS zones. There's some good overtaking opportunities around here. A couple of corners maybe to watch out for. But in general, Austria should normally produce some pretty good racing. Hello to everyone there in the chat. Dice Victor, that is Tenta, I assume that. Hello Tenta, how are you doing? We've got there. It's dry for quali. If someone lets me know what that weather is for the race, we'll get up our telemetry and information. And while we wait for the drivers to come out, I get to open another beer. Beautiful sunny race, says the Mestos. Lovely. Does mean the tyres we're qualifying on will be the tyres that we will be racing on. So I should imagine to see maybe quite a few drivers saving that medium tyre till later on in qualifying to see what they can get out of it. If you're already coming out though, wanting to test themselves out on the medium, just maybe use it, get a little bit of pace, refamiliarise themselves with the track again. As always, who can we trust to give us a nice good lap around here so we can take in Austria? I mean, we had someone in the chat there speaking up about Grant, so I don't know if we should maybe take him. It's a risky choice. I want someone to finish the lap, but a lot of drivers out right now. FCST, Wouter, Nak, Domestos, Tess, Bestos, Xz, Jacko and Grant are all out on track right now, already on their out laps. Hell, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go racing point. We're going to take Grant around for a clean lap around Austria as we've got a 260 metre run from the grid here up into turn 1, right hand of turn 1. Want to get as wide as possible on the entry there, attack that curb. Don't want to run too wide. That's going to make up all our speed coming down the straight here. Turn 2 is this little kink in the road just there. Turn 3. Almost a hairpin here as we come into it again. We could get wider on the entry, very smooth on the exit though. Don't want to run too much of that inside curve and don't really want to run too much of the outside either. Into the DRS zone right now, and then we come downhill here into turn 4. Again, need to find that apex. Don't want to run wide on the exit because that then jeopardizes us up and our speed up through 5 here. We're going to come into 6. Little lift and a tiny bit of brake, turn in hard and then accelerate through 6. Being careful not to run wide on the exit 7. Again, run nice and tight to the inside. Don't want to take too much of that outside curve there. On 8, come through, no little straight bit here up to turn 9. I'm going to absolutely throw it in super hard, aiming for that apex. Don't want to run wide on the exit there. And then turn 10, very easy to run wide there. Grant holds it in place, back into the DRS zone and across the line right there. That's a 105.1 for Grant, immediately beaten there by Xz with a 104.6 in the McLaren. That was opening up around Austria, and now we'll follow on and see what the rest of our drivers are going to do right now. FCST, third in the previous race. So currently on his fast lap right now. We'll see how he's faring. A lot of exit curb there on through turns 8. Get nice and wide there before throwing it into 9. And one on the back corner. That should be a good time there. 103.459 for FCST, and Nak coming ahead straight away as well for 103.4. Fastest real life quality time around this track is 102.939, which was set by Bottas in 2020. We're very close off that, about 5 tenths off that time. I should imagine maybe by the very end of quali, when the track is really rubbered in, we should be able to see some of the drivers like Reaper and Nak getting up into that 102 time maybe, or getting very close in the low end of the 103s. Watching the McLarens, almost not sure if they're racing or qualifying right now on the track. Run currently in 8th there with 106. He's still pushing their note. He is on an invalidated lap. We're going to drop down to the Alpha. Wouter now testing out the mediums. It said is maybe expecting some of these drivers to save that medium tyre for a bit later on in qualifying, more towards the end, and to see when the track's a bit more rubbered in, to see what sort of time they could get. Medium tyre wouldn't be a bad option at all if you can start. If you can get up into that 7, 8, 9 position there on the medium tyre, I don't think that would be a bad position at all to start on around Austria, getting that longer stint around this track. So we're coming across there, that's a 104.7. That's not a bad time at all for the medium tyre, but I feel we need a little bit more out of it. I think a lot of drivers are going to be getting up into that area or just below with the soft tyres later on. That's a bit better. 104.3 on the medium there. Boris F1 in the other racing point. That's a pretty good time there for not even halfway through quali yet. So that's, again, definitely like now setting 104.3 there on it. That medium tyre, maybe saved right till the very end of quali. Might have been able to eke out a little bit more out of that and get much lower into a flat 104. Go down at the back here. Reaper out right now. 6 drivers still at the back of the grid to set a time. Reaper about to come across the line right now. 103.1. That's him provisioning on pole right now. Just under 12 minutes left to go of qualifying. That's very good qualifying time there for Reaper around this track. He'll be pretty happy with that. This coming towards the mid stage of qualifying. Back down. Let's have a look at Jacko here in the Renault reserving today. Who was our Renault drivers? James been able to make it for the last couple of races, and Tygo unable to make today. I think I seem to remember from before he couldn't normally make one of the days of the week. Pretty stable there, run a nice wide line through the exit 6, just about keeping it in the track limits there. Don't run too much curbs around here on some of the exits, can be quite bumpy and dangerous. There is Wouter right, he's just gone past him, I can't see, he's in the gravel there after turn 6. I think he's run a little bit wide on the exit of turn 6. I think Wouter in the Alfa Romeo has hit the gravel trap and he's done something bad to the car if it's DNF'd in from the middle of qualifying. Following on board with Tessa right now, about to come across the line, 104.092. Provisionally in 6th position here right now. 2 Haas looking pretty strong here up behind the 2 Mercedes Bastos. Going for another hot lap right now. We'll follow with his on board for this little lift up there before turning it at 7. I think that cost him a tenth or two. Again, the Haas and the Mercedes here, the only cars right now as we come up to that midpoint of qualifying to get times below the 104. Bastos big disqualification on the exit corner there. That's going to make his next lap invalid as well. I can see, don't think he was running a quicker time though. I think he pushed too much on the last corner because he knew he wasn't running quicker times. Still 4 drivers down here, 5 drivers down here yet to get laps in the full. We've got Jasper. Jasper is hbecht. Jasper's a lot easier to say than hbecht. Forza, Ferrari, Lang, Demessos and Jacko. I see both Red Bulls down here right now, halfway through qualifying without times on the board. Keen's on a hot lap right now as well. I can see he's slightly further forward than Williams is. I think he is. You can jump up and then we'll go back and see if Forza gets his time down on the track. What's up with Kuhn? He's pulled over. Not happy with that lap. Obviously, there's Lang going past and these drivers gonna get times in right now. Lang coming into the final corner 10 there into DRS zone. It's a clean lap. What time running? 105.5. That puts him down in to 12th right now. Domestos has gone up in to 5th with a 103.7. Forza Ferrari here in to 10th with a 104.5 right now. Gargamelin are not doing great down there, so Gargamelin putting in some great performances at the end of season 2, and where did he come? Came 2nd in Australia, although that's flashing up purple there for sector 1 right now for Gargamelin. He's out on another hot lap on a set of softs. It's live incoming messages right now. Reaper says he is fully committed to racing on the pad now, on the control pad for this season. He's feeling much more comfortable to it, and he's not going to be switching to the wheel. These times he's putting in his pad, I think he's caught up, nearly caught up to his wheel ability with the pad. That's a 103.6 there for Gargamelin, and that's him up into 5th. So Reaper obviously racing, switching a little bit between the pad and the wheel. Last season he dominated in season 2 when he was on the wheel. Majority of the drivers on the pad, and it's very, very fast, generally starting himself from the back of the grid and just pushing his way through to then go on to win the races. But he's on the controller right now, decided he wants to challenge and to make things a little bit more fairer, and cannot fault him for that at all. Let's get back down here. Where have we got Jacko here? Apparently having real problems around Austria here to get a time in. Still him and Jasper down here. 2 lap old softs right now, so I imagine he's going to be coming in right now. He's not going to want to go around again, not leaving too much else time to get a tyre change and come back out on clean boots. Jasper, I think they're waiting a little bit later towards the end. A lot of drivers about to come back out on the track right now. A lot of them in the pits getting a tyre change. Got fitted in as well. Best for the drivers' times that are on the mediums: Lang, Grant, Forza and Boris. Wouter is going to be on the medium there. He's out qualifying right now. Expect to see a couple of those come back out on the softs. It's mentioned most of them come back out on the softs, because if they're going to finish that low, start that low down, they can put the medium tyre on anyway. They're going to be, would have been looking to be in so between that 7th and 9th position with that medium tyre if they was going to start on it and use it in quali. Let's get up to the front here. Knack then going fastest there in sector 2 right now. Back out. I'm almost excited by this what could be potential Hamilton Rosberg between Knack and Reaper on this track. It's a very short, fast track around here. Knack not being his time there. Is that lap? No, it was his lap. He has moved up his time. He's only 2/100ths, just under 2/100ths behind Reaper's time there. Absolute effort from Knack on this. What can Bestos do right now? Hasn't improved his time there. It's an invalidated lap right now. So we've got Xz and the McLaren down here, doing very well here around Austria. How much beer am I on? Where's that? He's on his fast lap right now, coming on the exit of turn 6, running a lot of curb there on the exit. Maybe want to turn a little bit quickly to 7, taking a good bit of extra curb there on 8. You get nice and wide, really. If it's turns 1 and turns 9, where we've got the curb in there, the green strip, there's no rumble on that. It's a smooth strip. When we come up here into turn 1, the proper line through this would be placing that outside wheel, that left wheel on the green strip, keeping the right one on the track, and you can get a smooth, wide run into turn 1. You should be able to do it again coming down here into turn 3 as well. Get as wide as possible. Just plant that rumble strip just straight down the centre of the curb. Put the wheels either side of it there. It's flashing up purple there in sector 1 for Xz. He's absolutely still pushing on with this time. You can see him trying to get as wide out. He tapped back inside Apex pretty nicely there. Didn't get too wide coming up through 5. Lift back on the gas there. Back hard. Turn in hard up to 7. Lift back on. It's looking like, again, want to get a little bit wider there and maybe a little bit quicker through turns 9. Last sector here, the hardest probably sector around Austria. It's such a fast track, such an easy place to gain and lose time. Jasper there on invalid lap. Let's have a look at Boris. Where's Grant? Grant is out of qualifying at the back there in 14th. Going on with his teammate of Boris right now. He's on a fast lap coming down into turn 3. Reaper and Knack both in the pit there, both with a fresh set of softs and waiting to the very last seconds to come out onto this track. Season 1 and Season 2, the driver on the pole did win the race. That was Gargamelin in Season 1 and Reaper in Season 2. Season 3, very nearly did Knack take the win from having pole. He ended up taking a puncture on the last corner of the last lap from running a very long stint on the intermediate tyres, and that allowed Kuhn to catch up behind him and get within his penalty range and take the win. And I saw Boris there running purple there through, I think, sector 2 that was popping up and invalidated it in the last couple of corners. That's a shame there for him. Reaper and Knack right now, they're on their out laps. Reaper, we'll keep an eye for that. When he gets around, they've got just enough time to get back round. Who's down here? Lang down here in 16th right now. He's on a fast lap right now. Let me see what he can do. Let me back on board with Reaper and see his lines through this track. I think he takes that much wider line that I'm talking about through turn 1. Gargamelin retiring there in P4. He's like, that's enough. No more time to get any laps back in. Lang down to 17th right now. Rowan qualifying up into 12th. 3 drivers at the back end with 105s. Expecting a little bit quicker from these. Everyone else had the 104s. So that's a Mercedes. The Mercedes slowing down there. They're waiting for everyone else to go in front. They want that last final bit of track rubber. Where's Lang going to go? Lang goes up into 11th right now. Knack started his lap fast. See him getting pretty wide there for turn 1. There we go. I say that outside, that left wheel getting onto that green strip either side of the actual red and white rumble strip before we turn in. Getting that car out as wide as we possibly can before we go in. And now it's one thing holding off until being the very last person to go round, but you potentially leave yourself to a lot of traffic. Someone's in AI mode there. Jacko just gets out of the way. Thank you very much there, Jacko. I think that just about Reaper was okay there. I don't think he had to save or lift off too much. Knack is just in front of him right now. It's been the onboard cameras, and that's what's going to come across the line fast right now. Coming in to turn 10, very wide there. That's going to validate it for Knack. Where's Reaper's time? Doing very wide as well there. Both invalidated the time there on the very last lap there. Where they are, what's going on there? FCST and someone. Boris right now, he's not even pushing there right now. I think that is it for qualifying at Austria. Intense battle between Knack and Reaper at the end there. 0.014 the time difference between Knack and Reaper right now as we come to end our qualifying at Austria. We're waiting for them to roll the Renault back into the garage. So the two Mercedes are going to line up together with a front row lockout. I don't know if I'm praying for Hamilton Rosberg in turn 1 here or not praying for it. I'm not sure right now. Alright, there we have it there. We have front row of the grid, we have Reaper and Knack. Second row of the grid, we got FCST and Boris. Third row, we got Bestos and Gargamelin. 7th, Jasper. 8th, Xz. 9th, Domestos. 10th, Kuhn. 11th, Lang. 12th, Tess. 13th, Rowan. 14th, Forza. 15th, Wouter. 16th, Grant. 17th, Spacko Jacko. Have a quick look and see what happens with Wouter. Just terminal damage, that's all it says. Terminal damage. Got effed. There we have it as we load into race conditions right now. Wonderful sunny day in the Austrian mountains. Wait for the drivers to select their fueling options, their tyre options for anyone that started below 10th. Will obviously have the option to start on whichever tyre they choose. I do have formation lap once again, so we can have a little look at the cars, speak about our grid lineup. Try and maybe work out a little bit of tyre strategy of what's going to be going on around here. I'm expecting, barring any problems, I'm expecting the drivers at the front here on that soft tyre to potentially be going for a one-stop strategy around here of going from that soft to hard tyre. Let's have a look at the back there. GrAnTGoOd there down 13th and 17th respectively, opting to start on the soft tyre. Pardon me, oh, gassy. No. Jacko there, especially, he's going to have to make that soft tyre really work because he's not got. You can push the soft tyre a good bit here around Austria. The lap isn't long, so you can get a decent amount out of it, but I mean, you're going to have to make it work for you. Yeah, so you have to really make that soft tyre work for you around it. Start from that point at the back, and there's always the danger then of burning out that soft tyre as well from trying to make moves with too much before you've really got into the race. Back end of Bestos getting a little bit loose there almost. No, he's swerving a little bit, but drivers trying to warm up their tyres. So Lang here with the medium, he's in a good position here right now on that medium tyre. He's down in 11th, but again, so you need to stay close to these guys here. Lang and Teska need to stay close to these guys in the soft, not fall out of DRS range so they can get that toe on that medium tyre, take that longer stint, and hopefully try and move themselves up a good 4 or 5 positions in the grid order. Maybe benefit if there's any kind of like earlier safety cars, which I'm hoping there's not. Turn 1 is reasonably fast. If you're on the inside, leave space. If you're on the outside, leave space as well. I should imagine maybe around lap 10. What is it? Lap 10? 10 to 12. I think 12's more. Going towards get to 14? No, I think 12's more towards your top end limit on these, on the soft tyres. On this, as we line up on the grid now, formation laps done. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are on. All 5 lights are out right now, and the Austrian Grand Prix is on the way. Both Mercedes have got away well. Naxip's in behind Reaper, the Renault, they're moving up. Again, they're next to FCST. Can we try and make sure everyone's pretty safe there through turn 1? Little McLaren getting caught in a bit of a sandwich there, I think, with some Red Bulls scrapping him back in the middle of the pack here a little bit. The front runners, I think, got very pretty okay there, coming 3-4 wide down there through turn 2, about to head into turn 2. Racing Point looking rather dangerous on the inside there, backs out of it. I think we've got a pretty clean start to the race here. That's pretty good. Guys on the softs there, Rowan moving up positions there into P9. I'm sure there was maybe a bit of a dive bomb there again. Domestos and Lang both dropping down there in the Red Bull from where they started. Test moving up on that medium position as we watch an AlphaTauri smash straight into the back of a Haas there, 3 wide, coming through turn 7 to this middle part of the pack. There is carnage down here. That is a safety car right now. Kuhn down in P17 right now. Sure, we've got their penalties appearing up now. Safety car. Cars was taking damage, diving in the Lang going into the garage. Jasper, Gargamelin, Domestos, Tess all into the garage there right now. A couple of safety car laps. Reaper still lead there. Knack right down there in 16th right now. What has gone on? Or was that just my... No, Knack's in 16th. That's just my... the inevitable timing of the game. Just doesn't want to play ball again right now. Let's have a look in the race director menu. Incidents right now. Lap 1, Rowan collision with Kuhn. I've been on the first corner, maybe, as we came into asbestos. Third track limits, domestos track limits, fine. Jasper collision with Gargamelin. Those two colliding with each other. Then a severe collision with Gargamelin. That was the AlphaTauri we saw. That wasn't a Haas that we saw. It must have been Alfa Romeo. And Domestos, 2 Red Bulls bumping a little bit there. Red Bull then going to Tess and Forza by the looks of it. And Grant and Jacko having a bit of a bump there. No one's been DNF'd, I'm not sure. Just a lot of debris and a lot of collisions in the midfield. Everyone running very close to each other. We've got another safety car lap to go right now. It's not too bad being under a full safety car from that. The drivers, by the time they will pit in, they will have switched their tyres, switched their wings, and essentially just going to be almost restarting the lap. 4 laps later. You can also vary sometimes if you can race back up hard from that back point and put on a harder tyre. You can almost do well because the guys on the softs at the front there have then already burned through like 3 laps of their tyres on a compound that isn't really going to be lasting for much of the race. So if you can benefit from it, you can sometimes do so when it is a full safety car along with the pack. It's grouped back up. Domestos in the pit there again right now. Have to push a little bit now. He should just about, I think, catch back up with... Yeah, they haven't got to the end of sector 2 yet. Domestos should be able to get back on the end there. He's not going to be under delta time right now. Drivers trying to keep tyres warm as best as they possibly can. Did he get back in to get that time penalty off? Maybe. The drivers we saw obviously picking up penalties on that first lap. They've all now been taken back off and they've gone in the pits, held them in there a little bit longer. Forza, the only one there currently with a penalty right now, as there should be another safety car lap. Still under safety car. Interesting. Pretty sure lap 1, Reaper or Knack didn't pit. That happened in sector 2, start of sector 3. Safety car should have been out for Reaper to rejoin onto it for lap 2 and lap 3. Lap 4 should be a race lap by my calculation, but apparently not. We're taking another safety car lap. Apparently there's little pixelated guys in game have got a lot of debris to remove off the track, and we're still picking up penalties here under the safety car right now. Why are we doing this, guys? 5 seconds there, Bestos, Rowan, and Forza. Rowan hanging. We're in sector 2 right now. We shouldn't be running that close to each other when we're still under the safety car. Safety car's going in right now. Reaper's taking the pace. Now we should be bunching back up. Jasper and Lang there, obviously having some sort of collision. Wings look okay though. Have a look at these. Can we see Rowan's wing? Did he hit best? Come on, camera. Give me some. Let me see the wing. one side pod camera. There we go. Both McLaren. No, he's missing an end plate. So that was Rowan then hitting, and we're about to go racing again. Back across the line. That looked like the Haas has got a great run there on Knack. He's going to put pressure into turn one. So it's back in behind there, I think, though. Best starts picking up almost 10 seconds of penalties now already at the start of the race here. What is going on? Generally, I think a bit of a cleaner start than what we first had. McLaren pulling out there, trying to get in front of the Racing Point. Get that Racing Point pushing that Racing Point really wide off track there on the exit of 3. We can't just be doing that. Right, up into 6th right now with a damaged wing there as well. It's going to have to pit in. It's not going to help him out. It's picking up lots of penalties. We'll get back on our tyres. To remind us who's driving on what. Langdown right at the back now in P17 right there. Not sure what's happened there. That Livingston behind must have had a spin coming through somewhere. Forza getting up past Rowan now as we make our way in to turn 1. Guys, McLaren still very close behind now as we make our way down through 2 into turn 3. Williams keeping McLaren to the outside there. Tight wheel to wheel through turn 3. Rowan just gets the edge on the outside. I think Forza got the DRS. Forza hasn't got the DRS from that. Rowan very much burning up through that ERS right now, though. On to FCST right now, keeping it with Knack. I think DRS should be back enabled right now. Lang back in the pit right now. Almost about Ripple at the back there, almost about to get lapped already from the leaders here on lap 7 right now. It's been a bit of scrappy race, I think. Williams and McLaren going for again down the DRS zone here, coming in to turn 3. Williams making its way around the outside there. Rowan looks like it's been spun round there on turn 3 as well. Board but FCST right now, catching up to Knack. 2 AlphaTauris right now here of Gargamelin and GrAnTGoOd down in 8th and 9th. AlphaTauri coming off the first race, sitting at the top of the constructor standings, but they're going to need to move themselves up a bit further through the pack through this race if they want to try and lead that. What's happened to Wouter now? Wouter's in the gravel, coming up through 7 there. Not sure how he quite ended in the gravel there. Maybe too much curb on the outside. Loss of grip and oversteer to the left. I think maybe. Rowan's coming into the pit now, taking that damaged wing off. On Knack, following very close behind. Reaper looking very comfortable in the ERS, so Knack having burnt through a lot of it. Right, back with FCST. So we're going to head Gargamelin. Coons made his way past his teammate right now. Gargamelin obviously keen on the softer tyre to what Gargamelin is on right now. Gargamelin on the medium. He's going to have a little bit of chasing to do. Might be a better option work together right now. If Kuhn's tyres are still in range, give Gargamelin the DRS toe and just give each other a toe round. Keep working the way up through the field right now. A few laps on the safety car. I'm trying to think about what lap we're going to be actually pitting in on these softs right now. I had a good few laps on the safety car. The cars are running it on lean, not pushing too much. They should have been able to conserve a good bit of tyre wear there. We've got Boris putting on a medium tyre. That looks like the first person to take off their softs there. That's 9. That's going to be a little bit early, I think, for one stop on that medium. So we're looking at a double stop. I'm going to take that medium to the end. I think it's possible to do a soft to medium on here. It's going to be pretty tough, and you're going to lose a lot of wear towards the end of your lap. Bestos following on close behind Xz. I think I see some wind going flying there. There's part of Bestos' end plate missing. Until what happened between them coming through turns 9 and 10 there. A bump there to going through turn 1 as well. There's going to be a few stewarding inquiries after this race. It's looking reasonably aggressive. I think I'm going to start season 3 being the same. Kind of calm down in the middle, and then kind of aggression level got up again towards the end. Knack and Reaper right now fighting for the lead right now, coming up through turn 5. Get back on board. Reaper back in front of Knack. Right now, Knack following very close on behind, running very wide there through turn 10. FCST ever closing that gap. Xz just making his way in front of Bestos. Bestos in the pit. Swap from front. Back up here right now. FCST, the leaders here. These two at the front, getting away 9-second gap over Xz right now. Over Forza right now, who's made his way up in front of Xz. Gargamelin and Kuhn. These guys here, Forza and Gargamelin, doing exceptionally well on this medium tyre right now. Gargamelin going to the inside there. He gets spun on that. Lang's DNF'd right now as well. I think Lang's is in the left in the pits. I think I can't see the car anywhere on track. I'm watching at the back of Forza, and I see some cars 3 there. I think that racing point's been lapped though. It's looking like a bit of a scrappy race indeed in this back midfield. Through the front here, leaders doing pretty well. I was expecting maybe Knack and Reaper to be scrapping a bit more, and the rest of the field not being so bad, but they're being pretty clean, getting tight wheel to wheel there through turn 3 though. Racing down neck and neck right now. Why can't you give me good camera angles? Knack trying to make it in front of Reaper coming down. Turn 4, going to go into turn 5 now. Reaper just sneaking ahead. Knack's going to get the inside here though. Reaper's not going to let off. He sticks to the outside. He comes through on the outside of turn 6 there on Knack. Wonderful driving from these two here right now. Knack going to follow on through 9-10. He's going to get the DRS though again. Coming down here, and he's going to mount the attack up on to Reaper once again, I should imagine. Can't let up Reaper. Both of these cars super low on the ERS, barely one third through the race, and both of them just very, very low on ERS already. FCST just getting closer and closer to these two there, letting them fight and just waiting to try and make his move, sitting very comfortably there, trying to save his ERS, just getting the DRS to follow behind, wait for them to fight, and then when he can, he'll make his move forward. Got going on the back here. Jasper trying to get close up to Bestos. Got a lot of pitting. One the driver retired already. So else they're back coming out of the pit there. Jacko on fresh soft zone. They're changing places too. No. Back towards the front here a minute. Next, starting to get a bit of a lead out on Reaper now. He's made his way past. Reaper though, gonna be having DRS right now. And FCST as before, just holding on. Sorry, I'm going. Vicious there. Yeah, back. How are we right now? Jasper and Domestos still chasing down Domestos. Down 11th right now. 7-lap-old softs. He's going to need to do something of those in the next few laps and get himself further forward, or he's not going to make too much good position up on that. Reaper pitting in now. About 20 laps left to go. I think he'll probably take that on a set of mediums to the end now, actually, maybe. Let's see what FCST and Nat could do, what they react to Reaper's pit stop right now. Forza's moved up a little bit there. Reaper's got a 6-second gap between him, though. Reaper's got a nice, clean track now and a brand new set of fresh tyres. So it's going to be hard for FCST or NAC right now, I think, to try and pull any sort of overcut on Reaper. You can see NAC already putting space between him and FCST now that him and Reaper aren't fighting, and that's what both these drivers are going to be counting on right now, that they can actually get some pace down. It's not going to hold them up, so they don't have to worry about FCST. Again, NAC is coming in to the pit right now. We'll see where else that comes out for him. Pit lane time loss around here should be around 16 to 17 seconds. Reaper's at 17.8 right now, so providing Nak hasn't taken anything, he might come out again just in front of Reaper. We're gonna see, it's gonna be pretty close. Reaper's coming past, down now though. He is gonna make it back in front of Nax. I thought about more like 18 or so seconds there for the game with the pit lane time loss. They've now both got fresh tyres on. FCST's been in now as well. All got fresh mediums on. You're going to be looking to take those for the next 20 laps to the end of the race now. Fuzz up there right now on 15-lap-old mediums. He's not sure what his tactic is right now. It's going to be pretty hard push to keep those mediums in a good driving range and stop Reaper and stuff from catching him, and then put on a set of softs towards the end. So I think he's got 20 laps left right now. I'm thinking he's maybe going to be going on to a set of hards in the next few laps, but I'm not entirely sure. Coming up to that halfway point of the race, time for another beer. It's back on interval time, see what's going on. Bessos and McLaren and the Alfa Romeo still fighting back here in the midfield right now. David Laird rejoining there. Running as he had. David not even in the race, so just spectating along there for him then. scramble of the McLaren trying to chase down Tess right now. Tess on the medium tyre, going to give these guys on the hard tyre a little bit of a DRS tow around here right now. They're not going to be complaining about that. But Tess on 9-lap-old mediums there. Those mediums are going to have to get changed at the end. Xz going to be wanting to make his way past the Tess in a couple of laps or so once it starts to balance out a little bit between the grip levels between the medium and the hard tyre. Jasper the back of the 10-lap-old hards. I think he's going to have a way to go on those before he puts the soft tyre on towards the end of the race. Domestos right now. It was Asbestos launching up the inside of Xz there, running very wide on turn 1. It's going to be a warning. McLaren's still there on the inside of him though. McLaren's going to have the inside on turn 3 as well. Asbestos is going to have to go. He's made it down. DRS tow there, and he's got through turn 1. A hell of a launch up the inside on turn 1 from Asbestos. Have a look up there from Tess coming into turn 4. Almost close to not running, a bit too wide for 5. On Reaper right now, caught back up to the Williams on the old mediums right now. Him and Nak going to be both having DRS, both racing down the straight right now. Reaper's going to want that Williams in between him and Nak when they come into the next couple of corners, because that'll just allow him to get some space and start to pull away while Nak has to navigate his way past the Williams on aging tyres. As Williams is still there, splitting Mercedes right now as we come in turn 4 and 5. Nat looking up to go on the inside there. He makes his way in front of Forza Ferrari there before we get into turn 6. Back on the chase of Reaper, only 4 tenths between them. Not as much time I don't think that Reaper would have liked that Williams to hold up in between them. They come back down here again. Asbestos, Xz and Jasper running close there. Domestos down in P11 right now on old set of softs there right now. Grant and Jacko not looking great at the back there either right now for them. Always another safety car there. Another safety car could change a lot again. Reaper going on it right now in the DRS zones on the exit of turn 3 right now. Nak's got the outside. Reaper's going to go down the inside of him right now. Wheel to wheel through turns 4. Coming into 5. Nak just pulls ahead from the outside there. Reaper going to dive to the inside for 6. No. He sits in behind him. He's going to wait, he's going to take the DRS when we come back through across the grid straight. Through turn 9, slipping away a little bit there, needs to be a little bit closer. He's not going to get in front of him before turn 1 right now, I don't think, with the DRS. But he should be able to position himself quite nicely for down the hill and taking it again into turns 3 or not maybe. It's quite low on the ERS here. Nak is as well though. Forza Ferrari there finally coming into the pits, putting on a set of softs there. It's going to be about 15 laps for that set of softs at the end. Saw drivers taking about 15 laps on it, but they had a couple of safety car laps in that. Forza's going to just have to do some very good time management there on those soft tyres, I think. Not going to want to burn them out too quickly. He's going to want to wait until these other guys' mediums start to age off a little bit and then start putting the pressure back down with his better compound tyre. Going on. Jasper and the McLaren in the second DRS zone here, coming into turns 4. Jasper making his way up in front, nearly double old hards to what Xz is on right now. Xz is stepping down quite a bit. Very good start and qualifying, it appeared. Gargamelin's in the pit now. He's taking off his mediums, and we're going to see Gargamelin put on a set of softs there as well. Yeah, it's going to be 14 over laps for Gargamelin there on 13 laps for Gargamelin on a set of softs. Still going to be a bit of a push for these two drivers going for that soft there, 13 laps. So they're going to need good time management. I think that soft is going to stop a fade at the end. Gargamelin losing a lot of positions from that pit stop there. I mean, Bestos, Jasper going to be looking to get at the end there, 25 on hards. It's roughly possible. Bestos will be going to the end there. Tester's mediums, I think, starting to lose a little bit of grip there, losing some position now to these guys on the hard tyre. Got to be thinking about pitting that medium in and getting on to some softs very soon, I think, for Tess. Only 13 laps left to go on the race now. Nak currently leading it. His teammate Reaper. They have a rather intense midfield battle roughly going on here. Back at Boris chasing down the McLaren and Rowan right now here at the back. Drivers trying to move themselves up a little bit, get back into that 10th or so spot of a few points. Those mediums are certainly not going to go to the end of the race. I think Boris has got a few more laps on those and then he's going to have to be pitting them in. And if he doesn't do it sooner, it's not going to drop down further than 14th because of the gap between him and Jacko being about 43 seconds. Domestos though right now down in 14th position. Not a good race here for Red Bull right now at all. All for the two racing points, not having a great race either there. Grant, not even connected there, he's in AI mode. Big old X next to his name, we saw from the onboard, so back up right now with the Alfa Romeo sort of fight here going on. Gargamelin's making moves now on these soft tyres, getting outside of exits there through turn 5, he's going to get to turn 6 first, he does just make his way into turn 6, expect to see Gargamelin on a bit of a charge forward now. 10 laps left to go. Pretty new soft tyres here. Forza Ferrari up in 5th as well. It might be to catch Kuhn on those soft tyres, but get up into 4th. But I'm not sure Forza's going to manage much more than 4th from that. 14 seconds between 4th and 3rd there. A big call for those soft tyres. So Gargamelin still trading places. Xz test coming into the pit. That was where Gargamelin gaining position from. Now just outside of DRS range. Jasper and Bestos though. Jasper still getting a reasonable amount of grip on these 18 lap old hards here. He's still looking pretty strong on them here, up into 6th place now. Obviously, a lot of drivers have got penalties there right now. We'll wait until a little bit later until we come and have a look at those. Maybe around lap 30, 32. We'll have a look and see what penalties everyone's actually got and see what difference that's going to make on the race. Nak and Reaper vying for position up here again now, coming into turn 1. That very nice between these two. Neck and neck, who's that? Nak in the front now, coming down through turns 2. Heading away in to 3. Reaper slips in behind. He's going to go to the DRS now, though, in the 2nd sector. Three second time penalty popping up there for Rowan, not for warnings. Gargamelin. So Chargers flashing up purple there for sector 1. Let's have a look at our fastest lap right now. Is Gargamelin with a 5.206. Our current fastest lap, current real life fastest lap, race lap around the Rebel Ring is 105.619, set by Carlos Sainz in 2020. So we're 4/10 quicker than that. That's good to see. Back to interval times. Reaper getting back in front of Knack. Knack not wanting to. A little bump on the wheels there of the two Mercedes coming through turn 3. Tess and Wouter, there's camera angles, swapping places down. Yeah, Wouter on very hard tyres right now. Tess on a brand new set of softs, giving an absolute challenge, though, rubbing the wheels there through turn 3. Tess though, so much more grip there on the softs and then hitting a lot of grass. That's going to give Wouter another chance right now. Potentially into turn 4. Big look up from Tess. Wouter gets on the inside though, again rubbing wheels. It's going to be very hard for Wouter to push past, get past with 18 lap old hards, and Tess on the pretty brand new fresh soft tyre there right now. It's going to be a bit of a challenge to do, but if Tess keeps eating grass like we did a minute ago, it might not be too bad of a problem, although it's starting to put pace there between them. Get back up, Reaper knackered, switching places constantly, just missed them half the time. Don't know what else is going on the grid, and these two just back and forth for the whole race. Though Reaper here, I think, sitting a little bit more patiently and cautiously here, saving a lot of ERS there, it looks like, for the end of the race. Knack been pushing through it a lot more, I think. He's trying to have a tactic of try and burn it and try and get himself some distance. There he is, burning it again now. No, Reaper's got DRS to defend. I think the best bet right now for Reaper is actually just sit behind for those couple more laps, keep taking that DRS, keep forcing Knack to push on that ERS, and just don't pass, and just wait and save all that ERS until that last 4 or so laps, and then just push and get your way past and then accelerate away. Look, Wouter's taken off those hard tyres now. He could be showing on a set of softs for the end of the race here. He's going to go to the interval there though. He should come back out in 12th, but I don't think drivers here are going to be trying to fight for that very last point. I don't think he's going to have time there on 6 laps on a set of softs to try and catch back up to domestical Test and try and really fight for that last point. I think Brandon Domestos can maybe set some good pace on these mediums right now. He might be able to get back in to P10, but Test there's only going to be 9 laps on these softs when it comes to the end of the race. That's still going to very much be in grip range. Borzan, as we said, started to catch his way back up to Kuhn. He's on these soft tyres. He's only done 8 laps. He's done 8 laps on them already, and we've got another 6 laps left to go. It's going to be a push, I think, for him to get past Kuhn. Depends how much he's burnt out these soft tyres already. Because, I mean, these guys on the mediums, we've always seen Wouter pit in after 19 or so laps on a set of hards, unable to compete with the softs going on in front of them and that. And got other guys on the hard side below. I don't know. These medium tyres maybe be starting to feel a bit of wear in a lap or two. Reaper side by side again here. There's a good gap between them and FCST right now. Just over 5 seconds coming up to 6. They're just by themselves. Who's that they're following right now? It's one of the Alfa Romeos right now that we're following. I should imagine I'd assume it's probably then maybe Wouter possibly rather than Jasper. And so they're going to be getting DRS from that as well. The car in front is going to be getting the DRS from that Alfa Romeo as well. Yeah, Nack's got DRS, Reaper's got DRS there as well. That's going to make it very hard for Reaper to get past while the Alfa Romeo's there. That's going to be Alfa Romeo and Wouter that they're going to be following around in the lapped car. And he's obviously on a fresh set of softs, so he's going to be setting reasonable pace right now and not really actually getting too much away. It's giving Nack a good old tow right now, though, is what's going to be happening. Reaper, though, Nack very much pushing that ERS, though. Nack, Reaper holding back on it. The last 4 laps now, though, we're coming into this time when we need to start making it work, making these moves count. Koen Forza has made his way in front of Koen. Koen's going to be fighting back, though. He knows over these last 3 laps or so that Forza's tyres are absolutely going to start falling away. After we have that many laps on the soft, so we've done 14 or so at the start. We have to remember a lot of these drivers have done about 3 or 4 laps there. We've done about 3 laps or so under a safety car, so they should have been able to conserve their tyres quite a bit. Then Nack still in the lead, only half a second, 5 tenths between him and Reaper. Coming into the DRS zone, I think Wouter has got far enough away now, back in front of him. He's not going to be giving Nack DRS anymore. Reaper's going to be happy with that. Gargamelin picking up a 3-second penalty there right now. We should probably look at the penalties right now because only one driver hasn't picked up any penalties right now, and that's Grant. Because this penalties could change an entire Reaper and Nack battle right now. So tyres, and it does. Nack with 6 seconds of penalties there. Reaper only with 3. Means Reaper doesn't even need to finish in front of Nack. He can just sit behind him right now. If the opportunity arises, you take the first place upon legitimate racing. If the opportunity doesn't, you take it through the penalty situation. SCST looking pretty safe there, finishing there, 15 seconds between him and Forza. Forza's got 3, Koen's got a 6 though. Koen needs to get back in the front of Forza right now and get 3 seconds on him if he wants to get back up into that 4th position. Reaper is trying to get around the outside of Nack there on the turns 4 and 5. The outside of those, he's got the inside for turn 6. They've been racing so close together. A little bump on the wheels there as we start to come in to 7. Nack goes ahead there in to 7 and 8. Reaper just sitting there behind him, so he doesn't need to have to get past Nack on this. He can just sit and follow wide. Nack pick up a lot of curb there, pushing it on the exit. Lost the back end there a little bit, nearly spun. That could have been everything over there for Nack. I think Nack with those 6 seconds of penalties there maybe needs to realise that he has been beat on this one now. About 1.5 laps left to go here now. Really, and I don't think Nack's not going to get in front of Reaper and get 3 seconds on him as well to mitigate that penalty. I think Cood's going to get the same dot to Forza. Either Gargamelin's going to be pretty safely there in 6th. Best off standing to lose a good few positions there. 14 seconds of penalties. Xz making his way past though as we get into turn 1. Bestos obviously still in danger there of losing out, I think, on to Jasper and Tess. I'm not sure if Bestos will quite lose out to Domestos there. But 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, might do it be close. It'll be close between Bestos and Domestos. Whether Bestos actually gets knocked out and loses any points is going to take a big old push from Domestos here on the last lap or so. But nope, I think he's just out of it now. In fact, we're going to come back up here. We'll see who actually wins the race between these two. And who was that who's just got spun? Nax just got spun on the inside there of turn 3 on the very last lap, and that's massively close down the distance between him and FCST. No, that was Reaper who got spun on that, not Nack. My mistake, that's Reaper who's got spun there on that last corner. Reaper now needs to get back up into range of Nack. That happened very quick right then. I wasn't expecting it after all that racing through the thingy. We'll have to see what's said about the stewards by that when we come in to the next race, because they were running very close and Reaper was inside Nack's finishing window for the penalties there as well. So FCST taking third, like we said. Gargamelin DNFing right on the last lap before the finish line. I don't know if that was intentional. I think he may have meant to do that and cross the finish line while destroying his car and obviously being unhappy with the race. And I think he's maybe done it a little bit too early, and that's just cost him the whole thing. He's just parked on the track, just ghosted the back here, and everyone's going back up and taking points now in front of him. What a blow there for AlphaTauri in the final few stages of that race. That was a little bit hectic, to say the least there, guys. I'm not sure. I think there was a lot of pushing and shoving through the first corner or so, and I mean, I guess I saw someone else getting pretty pushy and shoving through the whole thing as well, which let's have a look though and have a quick rundown when it gives me so there's a finish order according to the game. I'm sure a few things will be looked at, but that's Nack, Reaper and FCST on the podium today. 4th we have Forza Ferrari, 5th we have Kuhn, 6th Tess, 7th Xz, 8th Domestos, 9th Bestos, 10th Wouter, 11th Gargamelin, 12th Jasper, 13th Rowan, 14th Spacco Jacko, 15th Grant, 16th Boris and 17th Lang. Oh, pardon me, fastest up against Boris, but he didn't finish the race and he's down 16th anyway, so no points available for that. Gargamelin landing all the way down there in 11th position after crashing on the very final lap there. That is the end of Austria. It will be back on Monday at the usual time of, what time do we start? 6 PM UK time in Azerbaijan. I'm going to keep drinking and we'll see you then.